Okay, so again, may I know the status? Yes, okay, so as far as I'm concerned now, you are able to see my slide. So this is 9:26. Okay, so we are delayed for 26 minutes. Okay, so this is a challenge when we're having the online class, but it's okay. So let's take this opportunity to experience new thing. So as far as I'm concerned, Adam, Mimi, uh, what we call that, Adip. Okay, so okay, you are able to see this slide. So we have 5 viewers. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, Azra is okay. So then this is 9:27. So let's start the class on the IREITs or Islamic Real Estate. Okay, so a quick one. So this is what we have discussed in the last class, the previous class, learning outcome, what we want to achieve at the end of the session, understand the definitions of fund management, including Islamic fund management, graph the concept of investing in IREITs, and then differentiate between conventional and IREIT. Okay, so this is what matter when we mention about a real estate investment trust. At least, okay, 50% of the investment must be allocated, okay, through the property. So this is definition, okay, given by the Securities Commission Malaysia. Okay, are we good? Can you respond through WhatsApp? Do you follow discussion? Okay, so hopefully we will benefit, okay, from this session. Okay, so when we talk about REITs, a special unit trust fund which allows small investors to participate with low minimum investment in real estate. As mentioned earlier, when we want to invest in the real estate, okay, you are expected to pay at least 10% down payment. Say for example, this is 1 million shop lot, then you have to have at least 100,000 cash plus the legal fee, stamp duty, so on and so forth. So it require huge initial investment. Okay, so alternatively, to give the what we call that the retail investor especially an exposure to property, because it's an open secret, property is one of the asset class that investor or household, okay, should invest in. Okay, so I suppose then based on the response, yes, we are good. Okay, so this is types of REIT. It could be invested, I mean that it could be classified as the equity REIT, okay, that REIT that invest directly in the properties, okay, and then mortgage REIT invest in mortgage and constructions loan, okay, and then hybrid REITs invest in properties and mortgage then. Okay, so this is the what we call that determinants of REITs, and then it is very popular actually in most of the developed country in United States, in UK, even in some other Southeast Asia. So this is, if you recall, some of the advantages of investing in REITs. Okay, stable and recurring income, because for the REITs company, okay, for them to be entitled for the tax relief, they have to distribute at least what we call that 90% of the income to the unit holder. So it will be reflected, okay, to the higher dividend for the unit holders. Then diversification. So okay, if you invest in one property, say for example in Nilai, so then okay, there is lacks of diversification in terms of location, because you just own property in Nilai. Whereas in the case of what we call that REITs, okay, you can invest in different geographical location. Say for example Salam REITs, the one, okay, that own a couple of hospital or KPJ hospital. Okay, so it has various hospital in various location in Malaysia. Okay, professionally managed, no worries, you don't have to think, okay, about the tenants, so on and so forth, because this one is professionally managed by the company. Liquidity, yes, you can sell off your units, okay, in REITs, okay, through the Bursa Malaysia, exactly like stock market, okay, or stock, not a problem. Okay, so long it is open like today, though in Selangor we are having a public holiday. Okay, but since Bursa Malaysia is in located in Kuala Lumpur, so the market is open. So long the market is open, no problem. You can what we call that, liquidate your positions. And okay, affordability, as mentioned earlier, it is very tough for us to buy KLCC, okay, on our own. But since this is rich, so it is possible for you to buy KLCC. And so in that sense, it is affordable. Okay, convenient sales and purchase agreement, lawyers fees, and stamp duties are among the many things that you are expected to provide should you want to invest in the property. However, all this is being eliminated or at least avoided if you invest in the what we call that, REITs. Okay, comforts of regulation. So this is one of the instrument, okay, that offered in the capital market. So this is well regulated, okay, by Securities Commission Act 1993. On top of that, okay, the AC also issued guidelines on real estate investment trusts and Islamic real estate investment trust. Then okay, so this one we have discussed in the last class. So this is how it looks alike, okay, for the structure of unit trust. So this is the REITs company, okay, or the private property trust fund, okay, prior to REITs. When we introduced it way back in 1990, okay, it is referred to PTF. So what is PTF? So may I have respond through what we call that WhatsApp? Okay, what is PTF? Uh-huh. I still follow three viewers. Okay, make sure that okay, you are with me. Don't let me alone. Don't leave me alone. Okay, for these sessions. And okay, so may I know what is PTF? Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm not alone. Okay, some of you still with the session. So, may I know what is PTF? Okay, thank you. So PTF is Property Trust Fund. Okay, so this is how the structure of REITs looks alike. Okay. Uh, then okay, we have the management company. Okay, the unit holders. This one, if you invest in the REITs, and then we do have the property manager, trustee, as mentioned earlier in the case of unit trust. Okay, this is to make sure that the unit holder interest is well protected. And then we do have tenant. So this is how structure of REITs looks alike. Then okay, so this is the details. So I hope that you look into this one, okay, for to understand, okay, the whole structure of REITs. Okay, so now let's move on the Islamic real estate investment trust, or just allow me to call it IREITs. Okay, it is what we call the permissible investment. Okay, to some extent, it has the same structure with the conventional REITs. Okay, but obviously, the restrictions are related with non-permissible activities, especially those tenant. So that is our main concern. So having said that, we should revisit. Okay, this is just the working the old memory lane, the one that we have discussed in the equity, the Sharia screening methodology. So there are two in regards to Securities Commission in Malaysia. Yeah, so I'm talking about Malaysia scenario. So we have quantitative, qualitative, which is when we talk about quantitative, we refer the measure, okay, on the business activity and financial ratio. So in business activity, we have two benchmark, which is 5 and 20% benchmark. Then okay, so this is the one. Okay, so if you recall, this is what being test in the recent test. So I suppose you still recall what it is. Okay, so when we talk about 5% benchmark, okay, so directly they should not involve in this one, okay, but not, okay, obviously the REITs company, they don't involve in this one, okay, but okay, more or less, okay, more often than not, okay, it is applicable to the 20% benchmark, okay, especially on the rental received from Sharia non-compliant activities. So this is what we call that the main focus if we talk about the Sharia compliance of IREITs. And okay, so hotel and resort operation, okay, or and then to be exact, actually on the rental received from Sharia non-compliant activities. Then okay, then obviously there we calculate the financial ratio, okay, because some REITs company, okay, they do issue sukuk to finance their operation, okay, they take to some extent what we call the bank loan. So the financial ratio, okay, obviously, okay, will be properly checked. And then the cash over total asset, okay, when they have extra cash, where would the money will be maintained. And okay, so qualitative assessment, not much, okay, issue over here, okay, so long, okay, it is used, okay, as far as I'm concerned, when we talk about property, not much issue on the qualitative. And then so it is meant for business, it is meant for office, so not much problem in regards to the qualitative. Then okay, so bring back to our recent what we call that discussions on the structure of REITs. So this one is structure of IREITs, more or less same like what we have in the conventional, but the main difference, I would say, this one, okay, for the REITs, okay, or IREITs, they must have the Sharia advisor. Same goes to the unit trust, okay, that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so may I have the response? Do you still follow? Do you still okay? Currently I have 5 viewers. Should you have any question, okay, in regard to slide or anything, okay, in regards to reads, so you just prompt me through WhatsApp, okay, because I will respond accordingly. Okay, so may I have the response? Do you still follow? Okay, so 6 viewers, though there is no response yet, I assume you are still with me, so it is on the right for me to continue. Okay, but before that, this is what we call that 9 uh 39. Okay, so we are online for 15 minutes, okay, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, I mean that starting the class, we online since 8:55 actually. So let's take a break about 2 minutes. Okay, so we will continue at 9:42, okay, at slide number 19. Okay, yes, Mimi, the calculation will be same, okay, like the what we call that, but the focus will be on the rental incomes. And okay, because as a REIT company, they are not involved in the what we call that stock brokerage, conventional insurance, so on and so on, for the 5% benchmarks. And okay, follow Mimi. Okay, so let's continue. So this is where we stop just now. The structure of IREITs, as I mentioned earlier, the main or the key differences between the REITs and IREITs is the Sharia advisor. Okay, so this is the lines of defense. Okay, to make sure that the investment or the what we call that the property, okay, in line with Sharia, okay, it is being rented, okay, for the Sharia purposes. Okay, I mean that the business. Okay, so this is the lines of defense, the Sharia advisor. And then as far as I'm concerned, the Sharia advisor must be registered with Securities Commission. Okay, so again, so this is the key difference, okay, between the REITs and IREITs. Okay, the IREITs, okay, they have to what we call that Sharia advisor then. Okay, so let's continue. So this is criteria that being set by SC in regard to IREIT. Non-permissible rental activities must not exceed 20% benchmark. Okay, so this is the key, okay, for them to decide whether the REIT is Sharia compliant or not. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, say for example, Mid Valley. Okay, Mid Valley. Okay, later we will check. Okay, whether the Mid Valley Sharia compliance or not. Okay, so may I respond? Okay, whether you are aware on the REITs, okay, in Malaysia then. Okay, do you understand what is REIT then? Okay, so later, okay, later slide. Okay, we will bring, okay, some of the REITs, okay, companies in Malaysia then. Okay, so make sure, I mean that, okay, the company has to make sure that, okay, 20% of the what we call the rental, okay, of the income, okay, not uh, rented, okay, to the non-Sharia compliant activities. And okay, so Adib has some response over here. Salam, reads, okay, by Maiden. Okay, that one we will check later because we have some news. Okay, no worries, later we will check about it. Okay, all forms of investment, deposit and financing must comply with the Sharia principles. Okay, over here. And then this one, okay, same goes to how does we calculate for the equity. Not permitted to own real estate in which all the tenant operate non-permissible event even permissible even if the percentage based on the turnover area is less than 20%. And on top of that, okay, they must use takaful scheme to ensure the real estate. Okay, so this one is to reflect, okay, what you have discussed in the ISB 655. Okay, you have discussed takaful over that. So in the case of REITs, okay, if you talk about the what we call that, okay, the difference between the conventional REITs, okay, 20% benchmark, and then the second one, takaful. All properties must be insured using takaful. Okay, so this one. Okay, so another one will be the what we call the Sharia advisory panel. They have to appoint the Sharia advisor, okay, for the uh, to advise them in regards, okay, to the Sharia compliant activities of the tenants. And okay, so again, so that is a couple of things, okay, that to give you some idea. Whereas for the rental of real estate is permissible except when the property is used for non-permissible activities such as this one. Okay, if you rent it to bank, okay, so Berjaya Sport Toto, okay, so this is a convention insurance, entertainment activities, okay, manufacturing or sales of tobacco based stockbroking, hotel and resort. Okay, so this is when, okay, obviously it will render the I reads, okay, or before that or reads, okay, to be Sharia non-compliant. Okay, so this one is where, okay, the money could be invested. It means that after they have gathered the money, obviously it could be invested in the Islamic bond, a real estate, and a physical land and man-made item attached to the land, single purpose companies, SPAC or SPAC, and then okay, the real estate related asset, non-real estate related asset. Okay, so let's check the REITs in and I REITs in Malaysia, to be fair. So we bring you together. Okay, what will be the status? Okay, to a real company. So do you follow? Can you see my slides and, or in this case, the Bursa Malaysia? So may I respond to the what we call that WhatsApp? Okay, assume that you are following. So we go to main market REITs. So prior to that, so this is all sector that we have for the main market. Okay, so let's go to REITs. Okay, so this is all what we call that REITs listed in Malaysia. Okay, there are about 18. So thank you, Mimi. Yes, I suppose that you are following. Okay, at your end. Okay, so there are 18 what we call that REITs listed in Bursa Malaysia. So as usual, the uh, REITs with S, okay, signs over here indicate that it is non-Sharia compliant. Is it agreed? Okay, those REIT with S here, such as Al-Aka, okay, Salam REIT, okay, indicate the non-Sharia compliant, right? It should be the other way around, and okay, so it is indicate the Sharia compliant. Sort of 18. Okay, okay, thank you, Adib. There are some delay over there, but it's okay. So that is the beauty of having the online class. Okay, so as exactly, okay, those with the S signal symbols here indicate it is Sharia compliant. What we call that REITs. Okay, so in this case, again, to give you some idea, there are 18 what we call that REITs offered in Malaysia. This one is the listed one. Okay, so yes, exactly, Amalina, Mimi. So there are only three Sharia compliant REITs, Al-Aka, Salam REITs, and then we have Axis REITs. Okay, three or four. Can you check for me? How many REITs do we have? I mean the Sharia compliant, I-REITs then. How many I-REITs do we have listed in Malaysia? Is it actually four? Okay, Aka, Salam, Axis REITs, and over here we have KLCC. Okay, what happened then? Three of you. Yes, I know that you are listening to the video, but at the same time, okay, you have to look into the screen as well. Okay, so again, so this is uh REITs that we have. Okay, Alaka REITs, Salam REITs, and then Axis REIT, and then we have the KLCC REITs. Okay, this is what we call staple REITs, and okay, so that is basically REITs and I-REITs in Malaysia. So this is the company. I suppose that okay, you will when you see this logo, then later it is everywhere. Okay, you go to KL. In fact, they're having property everywhere in Malaysia. Then so when you look into this logo, then you know okay, it is belong to the Axis REIT. So this is in fact the first I-REITs that we have in Malaysia. Then okay, so Alaka. Okay, Al-Aka is belong to the KPJ. Okay, Al-Aka Healthcare REITs. And then so this is the one that I mentioned just now, KLCC, okay, staple securities holders, okay, or this is KLCC REITs, okay. And then prior to this, okay, we do have the Bosted, okay, but it was Al Hadra Bosted REITs, okay. This one is meant for the plantation of Bosted Group, okay, but it has been taken private by the group, okay, about 3 years ago then, okay. So it's no longer listed in Bursa Malaysia, okay. But just now, okay, based on our what we call that. Marina, what happened to you? Okay, so based on our discovery just now, we have another one which is Salam. Okay, so we have Akal, Alaka, KPJ, and then ALS REIT or Salam REIT, Axis REIT, KLCC REIT. Okay, so so this is the one that I mentioned earlier. So let me bring well the just now Adib mentioned about Salam REITs, okay, where they are expected to, okay, buy the Maiden. Okay, so can you see at your end, Salam REITs to buy 22. Okay, so Adam, I will refer to your question later. So, but checks on the REITs, okay, for a while then, the Salam REITs, okay. So, this is Salam REIT acquiring 22 properties located across Malaysia. Okay, but again, okay, Salam is this one by the what we call that Jacob as well, okay, but they focus more on towards the KFC restaurants. And okay, if you see there, okay, so the manager of announced that Al Salam REITs has entered into conditional SNP SPA with Kentucky Fried Chicken, okay. So again, this is belong to Jacob, okay, but the focus is more towards KFC business of Jacobs, and or they own, okay, restaurants, okay, KFC, Pizza Huts over here, okay. So that is I would say focus of the Al Salam REITs, okay. Whereas for the Al Aka, the focus is on what we call that uh, KPJ hospitals. And so, do you follow? Everyone, do you follow? So just now, based on our discovery on the iRead, yes, iRead. Okay, we have the Axis Read, we have the Salamka, and then KLCC. So this is about Salam. So not sure. Just now you mentioned about the Maidin Adib. Okay, Salam plan to buy Maidin. Okay, so perhaps okay we could check it later. This one is quite recent actually. This one is December 5. Okay, so perhaps you could double check on the possibility of REITs buying what we call that uh Maiden, okay, property then. Okay, so that would be the what we call that iReach in Malaysia. So later, okay, we should include this one Salam. Okay, actually based on this one, okay, that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so Alaka, you know, it is belong to the for the KPG hospital. So if you invest in Alaka, as good as you own the hospital. Okay, LS REIT is Salam REIT, again by the Jacob, but this one focused to the restaurants. Okay, the in the KFC, Pizza Huts. Okay, so on and so forth. Whereas exit REITs everywhere. Okay, they are in KL, okay, Johor, Penang, okay, and various part of Malaysia. And this one is KLCC, the one that we went, okay, for the Jom Labor. Even the convention center is included, okay, for this iREITs. And this one is Pavilion, Afrit, okay, Sunway REIT. This one owns Sunway Pyramid, okay, Sunway Putra, okay, UOA, okay, YTL REITs, okay, this one is Star Hill REIT, okay, they own Star Hill, okay. So then I hope that this one is Mid Valley IGB is a non-share compliant. Okay, why is non-share compliant? Yeah, perhaps because of the rental exceed 20% of the the tenant is non-shariah compliant, so that among the on top of that, if they involve in the hotel operation, obviously, okay, they are not entitled for the what we call that IREIT status then. Okay, so do you follow, understand what is IREITs? Okay, amazing. So we have 10 people view this session now, including Mimi together with Ayu. So then I could safely assume there are 11 of you. Okay, so it seems that okay 0176 Azra. Okay, sorry. Okay, Azra. Okay, only Azra follow. The rest not sure whether you are still with us or not. Okay, back to the Adam question. How do we privatize? Okay, uh, prior to that, do understand on the public company, yes, they will go the IPO process. Give the this one, okay, they will engage the investment bank as the underwriter. They go doing due diligence process, everything, okay, and then prospectus was issued, and then only okay they will go for the IPO after they have what we call that listed, like the one that we have now in the case of uh 18, what we call that REITs. Okay, so it's up to them, it's up to the company, okay, whether they want to be continue listed or not. But okay, back to the question, how do we do privatization? The those who are willing, I mean that wish to take the company private, like this, in this case, the what we call that, hold on for a second, the in this case the Boston Group, okay, okay, wish to take the Hadara, what we call that, Boston REITs privatized, so they have to buy all the what we call that outstanding shares owned by the shareholder, okay, of this Hadra. So say for example, if you buy this REITs, okay, you own these REITs, if the Boston, okay, wish to take it private, they have to buy all the outstanding issues that are yet to own by them. So that's how the privatization process, okay, being undertook. Then it is quite common. Maxis, Extro, okay, listed and then privatized, later relisted. Okay, so this is all business decision. Okay, this is corporate decision. Okay, so Adam, follow. How does we do the privatization? Okay, in nutshell, any company, okay, wish to privatize the company, they have to buy what we call that, the share yet okay owned by them. So that's how the privatization will take place. And in fact, I think last week we have a couple of company that's announced they will go for the privatization exercise then. Okay, follow, Adam. Quite tough for you, I suppose, because you're following the session using the phone. Okay, tough for you to respond. And okay, so that would be 9 viewers currently. You, I'm not sure whether you are from the beginning or just managed to penetrate. And okay, Anissa suddenly appeared. Okay, Amalina, I suppose you are with Zalkia. Where is Faniza? Okay, so thank you, Adam. So at least you follow the discussion. So may I have any other issues, any other question? Okay, because now 10:01, so means that we have live for about 35 minutes. Okay, and then we have short break about 2 minutes. Okay, at 9:42. So now I would like to engage, okay, the audience, okay, to engage all of you, okay, whether you understand what is IREITs or not. Okay, so uh, that is what, okay, I would like to discuss about the iReads. So let's wait for Mimi. Okay, she has something to ask. Hmm? Mimi, clear? Do you have anything to ask? No problem. You may if put it here. Okay, so no question. Okay, so we have 9 viewers. Okay, so at least you are able to cover this iReads topic. Okay, is it new iReads? Okay, not really. Okay, I have to check. Okay, on the okay, it is 2000 and 2005 if I'm not mistaken. So I have to double check on the exact date, okay, on when iRead was introduced. And okay, but okay, let's revisit the timelines. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the first read was introduced way back in 1990. Okay, it is known as PTF, Property Trust Fund. It was managed by the financial institution. The first one, okay, managed by M Bank. Okay, and then later the response was very slow because financial institution, the dynamism is different. So that is why, okay, bank securities commission, okay, changed the direction when they want to have the companies, the property management company, to take okay, to become the driver to drive, okay, the REITs in Malaysia. Then so back to the ICM, it just introduced in 1997. We can safely assume from 1990 to 1997 there is no iREITs. Okay, and then later the earlier focus in regards to the ICM was on stock. Okay, and then later, okay, when we see the potential of REITs, okay, then only what we call that Scottish Commission, okay, issued the guideline. And obviously the first time all the REITs will be on the conventional, and then later will be the iREITs. And so roughly about more than 10 years. And okay, as far as I'm concerned, it's around 2005. Whatever it is, I will double check. Okay, and when the iREITs, okay, being introduced or what we call that offered in Malaysia. Then in other countries, means that the REITs is quite ubiquitous then, especially in US, UK, Germany, in Japan, even in Hong Kong and Singapore. Okay, this is all Australia, yes, another country that very much what we call that utilize REITs, okay, to finance, okay, or to off as an what we call that alternative investment, okay, for the households. And okay, so 10 viewers. I hope that your benefits, okay, from the session. Sorry for disturbing your public holiday morning. And then yeah, we have got no worries. Then I'm still here. If you have anything to do, okay, uh, the objective of having this session is obviously, okay, to try to complete the scheme of work. But on top of that, okay, I want you to experience a new way of the learning, okay, because this one you'll be at your end much comfortable. I suppose you don't have to travel. So when we have this situation, okay, then it is better we solve it through online class. Okay, so let's check what does Mimi has over here. Share compliant. Is there any chances that iReach will grow bigger? Yes, definitely. Okay, is all ups, okay, to the players. Okay, say for example bank, okay, we have 16 bank. Okay, so this is what we call that chances. They have properties everywhere in Malaysia. Okay, we have seen that the what we call that bank. Yeah, they list the building like CIMB. That one is being the building owned by CIMB is actually, I mean that leased by CIMB is owned by AHB, Amanah Hartanah Bumi Putra. That one is read as well. Okay, but it's not as far as I'm concerned. Let's check whether it is listed or not. The ambassador is your best friend, Nialofa. Amanah Hartanah Bumi Putra. So let's check what is this. Okay, so back to the question whether we become bigger or not. Yes, possible. Okay, Amanah Hartanah PNB. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so okay, but the price is decreasing so yeah. Okay, so they own the New Central, DMC in Shah Alam. Okay, the New Central is in KL Central. Okay, and then the what we call that CIMB building. Okay, so what I'm saying is, okay, back to the question whether it is possible to go bigger. Okay, yes, very likely. Okay, provided that, okay, or how does we do it? Okay, the what we call that Islamic bank. Okay, they may issue what we call that REITs, okay, to finance, okay, their properties throughout Malaysia. Then, so in that case, yes, okay, very possible. And then at one time we have seen that uh, Petronas Dagangan, okay, the one that operate Petronas station nationwide, okay, they have more on the idea, okay, to have REITs. So in that case, you will own the station. Okay, so yes, very possible, very likely. Okay, in fact, university like SEGI is financed by REITs but not Sharia compliance. And, okay, so there is many opportunity, okay, for REITs to grow bigger. Okay, 647 Azra, right? Okay, anything Azra? Yes, others. Okay, please post the questions if you have any. Then I will respond accordingly. Yes. Anyway, what do you want? Okay, Nilofa. Okay, now is independent director of Asia. So what is what we call that director? What does it mean? Okay, may I have respond? What is the what we call that uh, independent director? So basically, independent director. Okay, 012245. Okay, so let's our friend respond. What is independent director? Okay, make sure that you use all the skill, okay, that being embedded throughout the class. Okay, now you're at your own. So Google, there's no problem. So independent director, basically, this is the person who call that share in the company, but there he or she, okay, is appointed to the uh, Victor's Asia then. Okay, so I have to wait for Faiz for a while downloading. What is this? I read Isfan Natra that own and manage income producing commercial real estate. Yes, exactly. So this is definitions of REITs. An issue? Tax-free status, then you have to distribute 90% of your income. Okay, because they are getting rental, right? They're getting rental from their tenants. Okay, like I mentioned just now, say because I love to go to Mid Valley, so let's take Mid Valley or IGP REIT as an example. And okay, so they're getting tenant, or they're getting income from tenants, Zara, what else? Okay, so many Starbucks, okay, or so many restaurants there, right? Okay, or tenants over there. Okay, so say for example they are getting 100 million, too much, I suppose. 50 million. Okay, 50 million per month. Okay, so 12 time 12, they are getting about 600 million. Okay, this is the income from the renting. So this 600 million, you time 90. Okay, how much? 90% times 600 million. Okay, quick. Yes, try to what we call that, calculate how much? 90 times 600 million. Okay, about 540. Okay, 540 must be distributed, okay, to the unit holder. Follow? Faiz, do you understand? If they are not able, or if they decide, okay, not to distribute, in this case 540 million, then they are subjected to corporate tax, which is currently stood at 26%. Faiz, do you follow? Again, though, this is one of the what we call the dimensions of REITs. Okay, for it to be entitled for tax free, okay, exempted from tax, they have to distribute, okay, 90% of the income. Faiz, before I move on to Adib, okay, yes, okay, we are referring to the same thing, okay. Unit holder is a stockholder, okay. So some people, they don't distinguish, okay, or REITs, okay, as a stock. In fact, if you want to invest in a stock, we are using exactly the same technique like what we have did in equity. Okay, so what we call that, if you recall, what to buy, okay, in using fundamental, but in this case we have no choice, there are only four choices available, and then when to buy, when to sell, obviously using technical analysis. Then okay, then how they make profit if all their money, okay, has been distributed? Then okay, they charge you the management fees. Company, okay, obviously, okay, you engage them, right? So they will charge you the management fees. So that's how they make money. So how to invest and where to buy the REIT? Bursa Malaysia, like this one. Okay, you go to, okay, okay, since I'm on my desktop, okay, how to invest? Okay, let's do some demonstration. DM plus. This is how you do it. Okay, if you want to invest in what we call that, in stock market. Okay, so yeah, we on the platform now. So let's go to the zoo. No, no, no. Okay, let's go to uh, Salam. Okay, Salam. Oh, no Salam then. Okay, so I hope that those who have applied for the CDS, okay, you follow up with your reminder. Okay, so this one, okay, Alaka, Alaka, Alaka. Okay, so this is Alaka. Okay, so exactly like the what we call that. How do you buy a stock market? Follow? Are you? Right click buy, something like that, and then you will buy it. Okay, you just put, say for example, one lot. Okay, this is how you do if you want to buy the stock market. Send now. So they will ask for the pin. Then there you go. Okay, follow. Uh, what we call that, Ayu, huh? Exactly, to respond to you, okay, how to invest and where to buy. How to invest exactly like unit trust. Okay, say for example, what to buy, we only have four choice. Okay, and then when to buy, when to sell using technical analysis. That the one we have discussed earlier for equity. And then where to buy, the Bursa Malaysia, and then you must have the CDS account. Exactly like, okay, if you want to buy other company then. Okay, so follow. Are you? Mm-hmm. Are you? Okay, let's me take the Anissa question first. Sir, consider Sharia compliant. Go through this. Yes, exactly. Okay, but obviously the focus will be on the rental income. Okay, method. Okay, they have to go through like what? Okay, normal company or stock. Okay, then obviously the focus is on the rental income as well as the this one. I think I'm not sure whether you are in when we discuss about this. Okay, this framework will applicable, okay, to the what we call that, when we decide on the Sharia compliant of the REITs then. Okay, follow Anissa. Mm, yes, that's how we decide. Okay, does the tenant in the company have to be Sharia compliant? Yes, it depends on the property. Okay, say for example in Mid Valley. Okay, so company like Chili's, okay, still questionable in terms of the Sharia compliant, though many people enjoy, okay, their foods there. Okay, so it is decided on the tenant. Who are the tenants? And okay, because from the tenant, it will be for the what we call that, reflected in the income. Okay, so because income, then we will, especially this one. Okay, the rental receive. Okay, it will fall under this one, maximum of 20%. If you rented it to the, say for example, your major tenant involved in non-Sharia compliant activities, so obviously the REITs will not be Sharia compliant. On top of that is the second tier financial ratio, because some of them, they do issue conventional bond to finance their operation. So this is among the explanation, okay, why some of the REITs is not Sharia compliant. So back to your question, yes, it very much depends on the tenant. Maximum of 20%. Okay, rental received from the non-Sharia compliant activities. Follow? Okay, so I hope that you follow the explanation. Anissa, can you indicate whether you follow the discussions or not? Okay, no worries. We will continue with the WhatsApp group. Okay, but I think for the YouTube, okay, it will end here. So for that matter, I thank you, okay, for your willingness, okay, to go through this challenge, okay, of setting up or having online class. Okay, so thank you, okay, for your efforts. I really appreciate it. I hope that you experience something new, and we will continue our class on the prior to that.